All right, guys, we are back today. I wanted to talk to you real quick, and let me introduce my guest. This is my dad. He's been on here before. He's AKA Grumps, also known as Larry to all his friends. He has a, go ahead and tell us what we're working with.
1998 Toyota Camry, 21 years old. I put 115,000 miles on it, and sits out in the sun in Florida, so the paint got blistered and peeled and yada yada yada, and I decided to get a new paint job, so I took it to Maaco, and they painted it with a product called polyurethane with integrated IC, which they told me the integrated IC was the clear, integrated clear. Now I don't know what that means, but it looks a lot better than it did. It's shiny, and it's been about 6 months. I've only washed it. I haven't polished it yet. I was giving the paint a good amount of time to cure before I put any kind of polish on it. And I'm going to try to ceramic coat it in a few weeks.
Okay, well, let me grab my other camera and or switch the camera angle here, and we're going to do a quick walk around and let Gramps talk to us about it, and a couple of the small things that we found, or he found, that could be a problem with us, that for some people on a $7.99 paint job. And he also had about $300 worth of body work done, and we'll discuss those as well. So let's get set up and we'll come right back.
Well, one of the things I had, the hood. I don't know if you've ever noticed the cameras. If you look at the cameras from this year model, 97 to 2001, rock hit on the hood and chipped the paint. If you look, there's a lot of them running around. The hood was all pockmarked, rusty, and so they had to do a good bit of sanding and priming to get the hood back smooth. And
What did that cost on your body work?
the body work for here and the right rear quarter panel had a little damage. It was $300.
Okay.
So, you know, the paint job itself for $7.99, and then $300 worth of body work. And of course, we paid a little bit to Uncle Sam in the realms of Texas. But Uncle Sam had to get his part.
He always does. All right.
They wasn't going to release the car if he didn't get it.
That's right. All right.
So, is the paint job Jackson Barrett ready? No. But it's got a few little imperfections, and if you're really particular about your paint job, you may not want to use Maaco. But Maaco's a franchise. Some of them are better than others.
And they also offer different levels of paint job too, don't they?
Yes, they do, from $4.99, which is enamel, all the way up to a clear, which is around $2,500. Plus, that's just paint. That's no body work. $4.99 starts at $4.99 for straight enamel, and then they go up from there in increments. They got 4 different levels. There's one for $6.99, $7.99, and then the clear, which is started at base of $2,500.
Okay.
Base coat, clear coat. But this particular one, they call it polyurethane with integrated clear.
Okay. Well, show us a couple of the places that you were not dissatisfied with, but kind of expected, but somebody else might be dissatisfied with if they were not.
It wasn't taped properly there, and there's a little bit you can see it's on the chrome. When it's here, it's not on the chrome. Up there, it's on the chrome. And around the windshield washer, there was one place that they didn't get it out of like they should have or could have.
Let's see if I can get it. There we go. All right.
And
We'll come around here and we'll go ahead.
then, right in here, the had some leftover paint on the rubber of the car. That kind of stuff bothers you. You can get that off with steel wool. Not that big a deal to me. Because the car looks so much better. I had one guy just today say, "You get a new car?" "No, I got a new paint job." But the same thing right here. They just weren't real attentive to their where they apply their paint tape, and when they bust the car out, they scratch this little piece of chrome. But to me, like I said, I'm not.
You mean when they sanded the car, or when they buffed? You talking about when they sanded it, prepping it?
Sanded it, prepping it, because this up here was all peeled, and it needed smoothing out.
Several years ago that this was peeling.
Scuffed up, more scuffing in here and in here. This part right here, before I bought the car, somebody had a minor accident back here. And over time, different color, peeling. So they cleaned all this up, paint, and get it to make a use of it. But overall, I know it's a 21-year-old car. I'm not that particular about it. Been the trim of the car, got 175,000 miles on it. I put 115 on it. But I just wanted to look better. Still got some little minor things I'm going to do myself, such as this black right here. I'm going to redo this black on both sides, fade it out from the sun. And here again, there's the lack of proper taping. Left paint on the rubber between the doors. Like I said, that'll come off with some steel wool. So, I am well satisfied with it. The only other thing I got to do is I got to replace these lights. They cracked from 21 years of sun. And these emblems used to be gold, and now they're beige. And it's fine with me. It looks good to me. They had a gold pinstripe down here that was faded out. I just told them to take it off. Not worry about putting it back on because they fade out. Yeah. But all in all.
So you were in this paint job for a little over $1,000.
Correct. And
your overall feeling on whether was it worth it?
It was worth it to me. Like I said, I wasn't expecting Jackson Barrett. I just wanted one even go. And it's got 4 years against fade. So, now, rock hits it and chips, you can't expect them to fix it.
And that kind of brings us to the last thing we'll talk about. What happened the first day you drove it? Show us what happened the first day you drove it.
There.
It's really hard to see because they did a pretty good job painting the car and as far as matching the color, and you almost can't see it. First day he drove it, rock chip. But hey,
now,
what are you gonna do?
Down the road. I could take this car with me and go to any bar in town and get a drink. 21 years old. But you know, if you're expecting a really fantastic, no flaws paint job, then you might want to find somebody else. And then again, like I said, there are different levels of quality depending on the paint job.
Nope.
I'm satisfied with it.
All right, guys. So there you go. There is a real-world interview from somebody who has actually had a paint job from Maaco, and you were
Satisfied.
but you may not be. So you saw what we told you about the few little minor issues from a $7.99 Maaco paint job, and that's going to close us out. Now, if you'd like to see more on my channel, watch another video coming on the screen right now.